Hey, what's up everyone? I've gotten a couple of requests to show you how I edit. I've gotten requests to do some portraits and headshots and especially some black and whites. So in this episode, I wanted to show you how I would edit this headshot. Now I picked one that isn't the best because there's some flaws, especially with the background that I kind of want to lighten up. So this is example as if say, this is what you had, you got done a shoot, and this is all you had, so you need to improve what you can do. So I'm going to show you how I would edit this just in case this was your only shot. So here we go. Here's some headshot editing portrait tips. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional retoucher. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. So I was shooting this with my Nikon D700, my full frame camera, with my Nikon 70-200 2.8 lens. I was at 105 millimeters. I kind of like that feel, that look, so I lock that down on a tripod and go from there. ISO 160, shutter speed 160. I don't know why it was that low. Oh, well, I do. I forgot one of my lights down here died and wasn't working, so I should have raised the ISO, but it doesn't matter really at all. And I was at f3 too because I like a nice shallow depth of field, because you can see I'm in focus here and it just falls off quickly, right here. So nice shallow depth of field really works great for portraits like this. So as I said, what do I do first of all? Well, I like to do the overall look. So I already have it cropped in to where I like it. It's kind of the Peter Harley style, but I have a feeling it's almost too central for my liking and it just can be a little more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my crop tool and let's just kind of cut off, go from here, let's cut down here, maybe bring it in just a scotch. And to me, that's already better. Yeah. Next time I would probably, once again, this isn't the best one that I picked, but I probably wouldn't have the bow here, and we'd obviously, get the hair caught up here. But one of the important things I saw is the jewelry she was wearing. It's not anything, blinged out, and it doesn't capture your attention. It's just there. It adds to the ensemble. So it's just something plain simple, exactly like the clothing as well. So I noticed that the clasps weren't there, so that's something you should always keep your eye on. So I'm looking around, I see the background, especially down here, isn't fully even. My strobes weren't going the way they were when I was first starting off testing them. So that's something I'm going to look at, but let's overall do a general edit and go from there. See, there's a lot we could do probably with the hair, but let's just go for overall look. My lighting, I have continuous lighting. I had two, typically usually three, 85 watt fluorescent 5500 or 5000 Kelvin light bulbs, so they're daylight temperature. And yeah, so that's the only time I really set my white balance in my D700 to a manual setting, because that's what I wanted at, so 5000, so it matches. I might have to mess with it a little bit here and there, but yeah, so it pretty much gets me to where I need to be. So just to show you, so if I were to match 5000, I mean, it's pretty much almost spot on. Maybe warm it up just a scotch. There you go. That's fine to me. Does the tint matter? Let's see. Let's go to 0. Yeah, we're going to go to 0. It kind of evens it out for me, and it gives it something a little more accurate. Maybe a little more green, just to take out a little bit of the magenta as I saw it. So we're right where we were. Or are we at +5? I don't remember. So the exposure, let's see. Exposure looks, yeah, I could bring a little bit back. There's a little edgy lighting. I mean, it was pretty much spot on. Yeah, I like it, so I'm going to keep it that way. So I can mess with the clarity a little bit. We'll go in, but I'm going to do some other things as well. I don't mind a little bit of clarity. It helps brighten it, helps bam it. Fine with me. I'm not afraid of clarity. Saturation, you can mess with. I don't really mess with it a ton. Maybe just give it a little scotchness. That's all. But because it's great, the reds aren't that strong. I might pull a little bit out, especially in the cheeks. And you might see in the lips a little bit, but that doesn't bother me as well. So let's actually do that right now. So I'm going to pull the reds just back just a little bit, and you can see. Look closely, see how that's red there and how it's going. So it's just something slight that I wanted to pull back. So this is where it was, and this is where I'm going with it, right about here. It's just enough to me, and it doesn't look horrible, and it's pretty natural to me. So we have that. We got to do it. Let's mess with the contrast. Let's get this to pop a little bit. She's looking too yellow in my opinion, so let's just kind of drop the, she's looking a little too blue. I'm kind of liking where that's at. It might be too much contrast. I think that's enough right there. And pull back some of the clarity. Go back up. All right, I'm kind of liking the mix about here. So it's something still awesome, and we still got the proper skin tone and everything like that. So let's just keep going. Oh, there was probably some vignetting going on. That's what that was. So that's great. That took that away. Thank you, Photoshop. So we have that. Everything looks pretty even there. Oh, I'm not feeling... Maybe I'm feeling a little more confident at 5,000. Internal struggle. It really kills me about, you know, stuff like this. So the black levels you can mess with to make it pop, make it really stand out. That's fine. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in and adjust the eyes. So let's just go in there, and keep in mind we're really far in there. Let's grab the hand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my adjustment brush. Let's even everything out. Let's give it a +1, and let's just paint that in, just to make them pop a little more, make them just something a little more dynamic. So I usually go up the clarity on that, make them pop a little more, a little brighter. I mean, because you're far away, you probably won't see it as much. So let's just go back out to fit and view. Might be a little bit too much. Let's just bring it back down a little bit, a little scotch. But to me, that's better. I mean, that's pretty much fine to me. Maybe I'll drop the clarity a little bit, but I'm pretty much spot on where I need to be right there. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the background. So I'm going to create a new adjustment brush. Let's get a big old one. And it is white, so it is pretty good. Let's just see how white that is. So as you see, when I was turning on the highlight clipping, you can see where it's really blown out, and that's the edges here. So the lighting wasn't terrible in the background, but it could have been better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the exposure a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to kind of clear everything out. I'm going to kind of go up one stop everywhere, and this should really start to black out and make the make a smaller brush. This should really start to even out the background. So as you see, I'll kind of clip that in. I don't have to be perfect. Let's just kind of go here. Let's just go here. So as you can see, this is where it means I'm really killing the background down. And if you don't get it right, like the first time, what you could do is you could then start a new brush and then paint in here. As you see, it'll start to fill in there. Do I really need to go nuts around here? I guess I don't. But you really want a background, so let's just see how this looks. So let's just go there, turn the clipping off, and bam. So it is extremely brighter than it was before, so it's pretty, before. So, you know, we're pretty much spot on there. And there, I don't think there is a ton left to do. What I might do, though, is I might go in and smooth out some of these right here. So let's just zoom in. Let's go 66%. Let's grab the old hand tool, and let's just grab an adjustment brush one more time. You know, I'm going to do some with the teeth too in a second. Let's do a new one. Exposure, I'm actually going to put to 0. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to soften the skin a little bit. So with that, let's soften the skin and bring back the clarity. A little bigger brush. And what I'm just doing is, the pores are prevalent. Yeah, I know. Gina's going to kill me if she sees this video, but that's fine. So there's that. Is there anything else I really need to do? And I might go a little bit up here. Just kind of softening. I don't really use a lot of plugins for stuff like this. Maybe for my black and whites I do, but other than that, I don't really need to. All right, so there we go. It's just something a little more soft as opposed to where it was like right up here. No, I pulled back on them right here, and that's something I'm a little more confident in. All right, so we have that. Oh, I said I wanted to tackle the teeth. So let's do a quick adjustment brush on the good old teeth here. So let's zoom right on in. All right, or you're not going to work. So let's go here. Boom. Brush. Here. Let's go a little closer. That way we can really get in on the teeth. Adjustment brush. New brush. So I hope you guys are kind of enjoying this a little bit. I know, I guess it's nothing huge, but this is how I would edit something like this, especially with a white background. That's key. And I have a whole video describing how to do the teeth as well. So you don't want to go too nuts, and you want to watch out for the gum lines. So what I would do is I would go in here, definitely turn on my mask just to see what teeth I'm on, what teeth ends. So go here, fill it in here, 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 and we'll do something like that. All right, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm not really going to mess with the exposure much. Turn the mask off because we saw what we got. So what I do is I drop the saturation, and that's what pretty much turns them white, in my opinion. And I mean, if you want, you could add a little bit of, there you go, really bling them out. Don't ever do that. You can give them a little bit of flare, so that way it looks like they stand out. So that looks a little better, in my opinion. They're definitely more white. So that's exactly how I like it. I guess I'll clean up a little bit of hair so you can see what that looks like up here. But this is what I would typically do for an edit like this, especially if I want to spot remove or do something, you know, I would absolutely go in and do it this way. So let's just go a little more and say, where was that one spot at? Okay, so that spot right here I do not like. This one's going to be difficult, but let's just see what we get. And it picked a really good spot, and boom, it's gone. So that little blemish that was there, boom, big bada boom, done, gone. And once again, I could go nuts and do this with hair. So let's just see if I could. Let's see. It's just picking something close by, and you're getting rid of some of the hair. We could probably do that here, getting rid of some of the hair, here, some of the hair. You know, and you could just keep going nuts, keep going close by, and just go you know, crazy on all of that stuff. So that's how I would remove some of the stray hair strands, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this. Do I want to do anything else? Was there anything more? Is there something I could more boomify it or do something? Do I really want to make her? Yeah, I think we're good here. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm liking something like this. More dynamic of a pop. Add back in the, a little too much. I'm liking this. So something like this is something I would deliver. I would be more than happy with. And I would deliver this and I'd feel so comfortable doing this. So there you go. This is how something, this is a basic edit for myself. I know it probably took longer because I was trying to talk and explain it. But this is how I would edit something. Especially if there were mistakes like the background not being as blown out as it should have been, but you could easily correct that using a raw file. So that's all I got. If you guys have any questions or comments, please write that down in the comments below. And until next time, I plan on doing a black and white edit soon and kind of how I do it. So let's go and keep an eye out.